Greetings, beloved entities. It is a joy to see everybody gathering together to reach for wisdom and understanding, because you are going through such tumultuous turmoil in most of your lives. And it is very helpful to access the wisdom of divine and spiritual and universal wisdom in order to be able to live your lives with calm and peace, in spite of all of the difficulty that so many of you seem to be facing in the world today. It is not getting worse, but it feels more intense than it has heretofore. It appears that there is more violent expression of disagreement than there has been up until now. And we just want to say to you, in the face of that, to cause yourselves to acquire practices and attitudes that allow you to remain calm. When people are sort of, as you say, in your face about an issue or an opinion or a point of view that you are not in alignment to, it is not to argue with them. It is to say to them, I hear what you're saying. I get that you feel very strongly about this. And not to try to refute or disagree. There, of course, are times when that is appropriate, but most of the time to get into a verbal confrontation with another entity over anything is usually not very productive. And so we would say to you to avoid confrontation, especially verbal, which can sometimes lead to physical, but in most of your cases you will never be in a situation where it gets physical, so it's not really an issue for most of you. However, the emotion that comes up with what you see in your news, with what you read about in your magazines and papers, the emotion that comes up is for you very upsetting. It throws everything off kilter. You have entities in your hosts' programs talking about chakras. And for most entities, it is not a very clear understanding what the chakras are and what they do and what they're responsible for. They are the energy centers of the body. And it is chakric energy that maintains, to the best of the ability, your equanimity, your balance, your ability to stay present in all circumstances with yourself. There is a fine line and a delicate balance, shall we say, between maintaining calm and presence with yourself and being present in the situation you find yourself in. And this is the challenge of human entities at this time in your society. This is the challenge facing you these days, is to not let yourself get embroiled. Now, there are exceptions, of course. There are entities, such as this woman is one of them for sure, who likes getting all riled up, who likes getting all emotional and exercised and ready to enter the fray, but only so far. And if you are an entity like that, you have to know that about yourself and be able to put on the brakes when it becomes out of balance, shall we say. Also with this woman, most of that desire for violent, expressive intensity is held within. It's acknowledged, it is recognized, it is accepted, but it is very, very seldom actually expressed out into the world. So her balance is maintained most of the time, not always, but most of the time. And this is what we invite you to examine within yourselves, to explore within yourselves, the kinds of emotions that come up for you in various circumstances and situations, and how you deal with them. To understand that, yes, there are times when it is absolutely appropriate for your anger to show and be expressed, but most of the time it is counterproductive to express that rage, that intensity of emotion, because most people are frightened by it. And that is one of the reasons that you don't see a lot of reaction to the violence that is expressed and demonstrated in your society over the past year, especially. You don't see the other side, for instance, coming back, because most people are frightened of their own internal violence, of their own level of emotional reaction to things. And so rather than explore it and give some way of allowing it out, they swallow it and they hide away from it, and they just don't want to know what's going on out there because they can't deal with it. And it is understandable, of course, but it is also not a good idea. So we invite you, in the days that are coming, which are going to ease off, things are absolutely going to get better. But in the days that are coming, in the following, let's say between this little group gathering and the next one that we have, let us invite you to pay attention to the emotion that comes up within you over whatever. The emotion of pleasure, the emotion of joy, the emotion of watching a child play that just brings a smile to your face. Give yourself an opportunity to notice what is going on with each of you individually, emotionally. And when it is anger or disappointment or frustration, and it happens almost daily, notice that as well. Notice how you feel. Notice what you may consider a possible reaction or response to what is causing that emotion to come up. Become in charge of your emotional life and expression. And in this way, you will be able to begin cultivating more of a feeling of and expression of pleasure, of joy, of love, of happiness in another's good fortune. What do you think about that? Comments? Questions?
Anyone?
I think that it makes what you're saying is so important for people to be able to diffuse a situation rather than go into reaction, which just
Indeed.
escalates the issue.
Absolutely. So the question then becomes, how do you do that? Because for many people, that sort of reaction is sort of automatic. It just explodes out of you. So what do you do about that? Well, it takes practice and it takes awareness. First and foremost, you must cause yourselves to be aware of what you feel, what you are reacting to, what you are responding to, what you want to say, what you want to do in response, in answer to whatever is going on that is creating the emotion in you, and pay special attention to the things that bring you pleasure. Pay special attention to that feeling in your body, somewhere in your body. For most people, it's somewhere in the solar plexus or belly area, that you get that warm sense of smile about something that someone says or does, or something you see around you. Pay attention. Let yourself flower in that sensation. Let that sensation become prominent in your feelings of everything every day. That will strengthen your ability to not be reactive. That will strengthen your ability to take a breath before you open your mouth, before you explode out. The breath is always the answer to everything. Always ask yourself, cause yourself, invite yourself to take a breath and then say what you want to say. Because oftentimes, when you want to perhaps lambaste somebody, scream at somebody, if you will allow yourself to take a breath first, you will be able to say what you want to say, but in a gentler, calmer way that will in fact be more effective. That is our invitation to you today. So what are your questions?
I just want to add one other thing before the questions, which is last month, the guides also had a very helpful suggestion, which is to send pink clouds, cotton candy clouds of love to those that you are in conflict. And I tried it, and I can tell you, I think it works. And it's
amazing that somebody
yes.
with you actually was effective.
So that's just another helpful suggestion I just want to point out.
Bless you for reminding everyone about that,
Yeah,
because
good reminder.
it is very, very useful. A pink cotton candy cloud surrounding whatever it is. It could be a thing, it could be a person, whatever it is that is causing you discomfort, because that is the energy of love. And love really does conquer all. It might take a little time, but repeated and repeated and repeated with awareness and intention absolutely will work. So be it. Bless
Yes.
you.
So the first question we have today is from Joy. Joy wants to know if the VA project is right for her.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Not only is it right for her because it will be a source of great creativity and result in some wonderful product, but it is a great idea for her because it will introduce her to an element that she is a little afraid of, and will allow her to relax in that fear and know that there is no reason for it. And then the pictures will be amazing. So absolutely go for it. It might take a little bit longer than you are anticipating. We just want to caution you about that, because you're going to find yourself needing to go back and repeat now and then a few things that you did, that because of how you were feeling in that moment didn't quite gel the way you wanted it to. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I have 9 months of working on this project.
So begin straight away and know that you may have to go back and repeat occasionally, and enter into it with the expectation of brilliance. Yes.
Along with that is I have to get permission from the VA to be able to shoot this project. Is there any guidance you can give me when they say their first no?
You have to have at hand the list of ways in which this project is going to benefit their clients. So you're going to want to come up with areas that you can show these photographs that will benefit the public's understanding of what they are dealing with. Does that make sense? You're going to want to be able to present to the people who can give you this permission several reasons why it's a good idea. It is also a good idea because these people that you will be photographing don't ever get the kind of attention that you will be able to give them that will benefit their own well-being, mental and physical well-being. They will be able, because another benefit is going to be that in interacting with you on the basis of your work is going to give them a life-affirming impetus within them to assist them and help them to heal in ways that being stuck in the process they are in has not. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, completely. Thank you.
So you'll want to come up with that, and you'll get more ideas of how it will benefit them from talking to some other people, because there are people who have interacted with authorities, and they will have ideas for you of how to how should we put this? You're going to want to seduce them. So you will want to take a portfolio with you to show them the kind of work that you do, not so much the nature work that you do, but the people work that you do. and show them the result of the work that you do interacting with these people benefits the people. It's not just about you. So that's the tack you want to take. Make sense?
Makes sense. Thank you.
Indeed. Bless you. Bless your project. Bless your project every day, all of you. Whatever it is you're working on, make sure that every single day, not only are you speaking to your image in the mirror, blessed be I and all that I am, so be it. But when you take up the pen or the camera or the brush or whatever it is that you are working on, you take a breath and you bring in blessings on the project. So be it. Next.
Kim is up.
I feel like things are going to change so much in the future as far as how we do things. And I'm having trouble with my business navigating how to, I don't know, I feel like I look at these classes and website stuff and how to do certain things. And I wonder if everything is going to change. And so I end up feeling very confused and also feel like I just don't spend enough time in the visionary part of my business versus trying to figure things out tech wise. And
you're going about it the wrong way.
okay.
The way you are going about it is very pragmatic and practical. The steps I need to take in order to get there. And because there is a great deal of confusion in the arena in which you play, the ideal thing for you to do is to invite universal wisdom to bring you what you need and to inspire you with what you should be doing and saying in order to affect what you want to accomplish. Now, is it our memory accurate that you cannot particularly work in person with your clientele because of vaccine issues?
Yes.
So you've got to come up with different ways of working with people. Generally speaking, of course, this way, the way we are working with you, in order to, so you're gonna, one of the things you can do is create an example class. Invite some people to create a class that you want to, where you want to teach what you are teaching. Invite the appropriate people to participate with you in order to help you create what used to be called in Hollywood a demo reel. And then you teach your class, you edit it, you create perhaps a 20-minute sample of what it is you want to do, and you post it. And you invite people to participate and to inquire what is available for their group. But essentially, the important thing to do is I open myself to all the wonderful and bountiful things the universe has to offer me today, and I let them flow through me. And you open yourself to receiving wisdom. You allow yourself to know that you don't have to come up with every single answer yourself. Allow yourself to know God wants you to succeed. That divine wisdom and universal wisdom is available to assist you, but you've got to ask for it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We have Fatima next. Fatima, do you have a question or do you have an idea of a question you want to ask?
Yes. This is more of a personal question. Will I ever be free from my mom's darkness?
Will you be free from
my mother's darkness?
Your mother's darkness?
Yeah.
Let us just take a look at that for a moment here.
I'm willing to fight.
Do you feel, you've got to ask yourself to what degree you feel obligated to reflect what it is she is feeling. What degree, because you are an obedient daughter And your desire, understand, your desire is to cut all of the threads that bind you together and have a different, completely different sort of relationship. Do you understand? Do you know that that is what you want?
Yes, that is what I want.
Then that is what you must do. Are you not a grown-up? Are you not an adult? Are you not in a society that sort of honors individuality and independence? Whether or not culturally there is agreement between honoring independence and honoring tradition, shall we say. Culturally, there may be an absolute dichotomy between those two. So you have got to choose for yourself. You have got to find the way, and there is a way, to honor your tradition, to honor your mother, and to step away and live your life. Now, you are living with her still?
Absolutely not. Nope. I live alone, 500 kilometers away, cut the cord by phone a year ago, but this is a spiritual thing.
So the obligation that you are feeling still has quite a hold on you. It is not a spiritual
Yes.
thing, because spirit would require you to free yourself. It is a sense of guilt and obligation within you, and that is what you want to work on. There is nothing you want to do about your mother. Your mother is your mother, and bless her, she has her life, her beliefs, her understanding of how it is supposed to be. You have to work on what you feel and what you think and what you believe. You must get familiar with and intimately familiar with your sense of obligation to be responsive to a situation and a tradition that does not particularly serve you any longer. You have got to forgive yourself for wanting something totally different from what you were raised with. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Thank you for the wisdom.
Absolutely, because forgiveness is the first key to freeing yourself from this sense of obligation. And understand that, and this is going to take you some time because it is very deeply ingrained in you, that you are obliged to be responsive and to maintain a tradition that you don't believe in. You can have your faith, you can have your religious practices without being tied to the culture completely. So it is a very intricately interwoven connection that you are wanting to unweave. And so an image that you can utilize will be a weaving, a yarn, heavy, thick yarn that is woven together into a rug or a shawl, and watch the threads unravel. And as they unravel, you become freer and freer to wholly be who you are. Because you don't even know what that really is right now. You know what you're fighting against, but you don't know what you're wanting for yourself. So a lot of exploration is in store for you in terms of you, yourself, and you. And that will be a good thing to do. And so what you do is every single day, you invite the wisdom of the universe to assist you to understand yourself by yourself, to understand who and what you are on your own, separate from everything that you are rejecting. And also understand that the stronger you reject something, the stronger it becomes. You must allow everything that you are, everything that your tradition is, everything that your mother is. You must allow it all to be. You must relax within it. And in that way, the threads will unweave. And in that way, you will be able to begin to reach out again and perhaps even have a relationship with your mother on your terms. Would that not be wondrous?
It would indeed.
So you must begin, and you must enlist the help of people who love you, because this is a very big job, big task, and you really can't do it all by yourself because you lose perspective. And in order to have perspective, it is wise to enlist the help of people who love you and support you. All right?
Thank you very much.
Great. Would you just say your name and go ahead and ask your question?
Yes, well, my name is Ajara, and I'm just new here, so thank you very much for welcoming me.
Welcome.
Well, I'm currently looking for a remote job, and I'm wondering if I will be able to land this remote job soon, because I have some side projects that I want to start. And yes, this future job will help me to reach this. Well, it's what I think, but I'm not sure if it's the real solution.
Well, first, let us say to you that it's a better idea to think in terms of a solution for now, because you appear to be going through one change after another pretty rapidly. Like every 6 or 8 months, there seems to be something new for you to deal with, that you are encountering, that you need to sort of fit yourself to. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. a
So
lot.
for you, as much as you think you would like to have something permanent and solid, it's not in your nature right now. You're about 5 years away from permanent and solid. So for now, the ideal thing for you in terms of your own growth and evolution is to say, bring me what I need to fulfill what I am for now. This should be your mantra. Bring me what I need to fulfill what I am for now. Because everything for you right now is temporary. A few months, but temporary nevertheless. At least it's not, it seems you went through a period where things were changing almost every other day. At least it's not that tumultuous anymore. It's a little bit longer lasting. But do you know what kind of work you like to do?
Well, I'm still not sure about it.
Exactly.
Well, I'm just sure that I want something remote to be able to have more freedom, I will say.
So, first of all, you've got to write down on paper, and we understand that you have a great big difficulty with commitment of any sort, which is one of the reasons things keep changing all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it is important to understand that about your nature. So it would be wise for you to take a piece of paper and write down over the course of 2 or 3 days, as you think of things, what you're good at. And then you might actually put 2 columns on the page, what I'm good at, what I like. Now, one of the things you like is a lot of solitude. And that will have to figure into whatever ends up being what you do. But what I'm good at, and then you begin looking around to all the places that offer positions that allow for remote work. And there are a lot of them. You know that your society is rife with all of these remote positions, because it is what's going on the last couple of years especially, is people are working remotely, and it's very, very successful for many of them, not everybody. And for you to isolate too much is possible. You know this about yourself, that it is possible for you to isolate too much. So within all of that, you've got to make sure that at least once or twice a week, you're getting together with other people face to face where possible. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
So you've got to decide what you're good at, what you like, and then you've got to begin some research. Then you've already seemed to have started some research. And then you've got to learn how to, how do you say this? You've got to learn how to connect with places and jobs that are available in order. You might have to write a resume. You might have to write a paragraph. It doesn't have to be a formal resume, a paragraph of the kinds of things that you do, that you are good at, how you can serve a particular company or client in a way that they need to be served. Because when you are looking for employment, the first important thing is to be able to identify, just as the joy entity has to be able to identify how what she wants to do is going to benefit the people whose permission she needs to do it. You've got to be able to identify how you can benefit that company or that person in what they need from you. Does that make sense to you? It's not what you want to hear. We understand that. You want to be, there was a time when this woman used to say she wanted to be paid because people wanted her around. So that's just paid to have her around, just to be present, which is ideal, is it not? It's pretty much a fantasy, but there are positions that are similar to that, where what you are and what you provide and what you contribute is valuable just in and of itself. And that would be ideal. So you want to keep that in mind as one of the criteria that you want to have a job fulfill for you. But you've got to do a little work, because you are in quite a muddle about who you are and what you want, wouldn't you say?
Yes, this is completely true, really.
Therefore, the first step is to begin to make lists about things that please you, things that you can do. Start these things that we have recommended. You work on this for a couple of 3 weeks, and you come back next month and tell us how it's going, all right?
Yes, thank you very much.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Who else?
So thank you so much, H. Really nice to have you. And we are going to go to Joan next. Joan, what is your question?
I am concerned because my older son has cut me out of his life. He told me over a year ago he didn't want to communicate with me, and he has stuck to it. And I miss him, and I would like to have him back in my life. Tell me what you see.
It is not just him that's created this rift. It is he married? It is his wife that has tried to keep him from family.
Yes, definitely.
So there's not a lot you can do about that, other than continue to send messages and love. So you send greeting cards, you send emails, you send texts, not expecting a reply, just keeping the existence of you in his awareness by making contact. There's not a lot you can do, because you are fighting a huge impediment in his wife, or whoever this is who is commanding his obedience to her. And you were too much competition.
Oh dear.
Your wisdom, your caring, your ability to express love, you were too much competition for her. So your only recourse is to keep telling him that you are thinking about him and wishing him well and sending him love. And you don't ask for anything. You just keep giving. In text, in emails, in cards and letters. Not letters, you could get carried away writing letters, but little cards, greeting cards that say, I'm thinking about you, I love you. Little simple things. And you keep doing it, and you don't stop doing it. And you find satisfaction in knowing that there is a connection because you are creating it. What do you think?
Wonderful. That's very helpful. I can do that.
Excellent. And always, always, always pray for his well-being, mental, physical, and emotional well-being. So be it.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Great. So next we have Michelle.
Indeed. Michelle.
Hi there.
Hello.
This is my first time here, so thank you for
Welcome.
this.
Indeed.
So, I'm in a situation right now where I was reported to the city by an ex-tenant. I have an unpermitted bedroom and bathroom in my house, and then I live in a studio that doesn't have permits to live in. So I'm now dealing with the city, and so I'm wondering, and I'm told that they will require a lot of things be done that would be, a lot of money, is the information I'm getting so far. And I'm needing to know, am I going to be able to successfully resolve this and how? What do I need to do to make this happen or to help it happen?
Well, the first solution that comes to our awareness is to sell everything and go somewhere else. And you've thought of that, have you not?
I'm very much attached to being where I am.
Yes, and that can be a problem. However, so the other alternative, of course, is to, there's not a lot you can do to combat government regulation when it has been sort of thrust in your face. A lot of people get away with a lot of things because they don't get caught. When you get caught, there's not a lot you can do. But there are loans available to allow you to do the work that they are requiring, that you would be able to pay back over a long period of time. And you would be very wise to get legal advice and assistance. Have you sought that?
I have, yes.
Has it been helpful?
They've basically told me that pretty much the city has the power and I just need to do what they say to do. That legally they don't really have any power to do anything.
Which is essentially what we just said. And so that seems to be, you're between a rock and a hard place, as they say. There are not a lot of options. The most viable option, of course, is to sell everything and go. When we say somewhere else, we don't mean that you've got to leave the country or even the state or the city. And we understand attachments. Trust us, we understand attachments. They're not always beneficial, but we understand them. So the best option is for you to get a loan to do the work and get it done, be done with it, and then not ever have to worry about it again and be able to live the way you want to live with the people that you want to live with safely and legally. We wish we could give you some magical incantation that would make it all go away, but unfortunately, we can't. What do you think?
Do you see this being able to happen where I can successfully complete what is required and be happily in my home?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All it takes is money and crafts people, construction people, service people. So the most important thing after getting the loan is finding the people who will do the work adequately, accurately, successfully. So probably what you're going to need to do is inquire of the sort of work people that are needed to do the work that needs to be done, get estimates about what they want to do in order to fulfill the legal requirements, how much it will cost, so that you have a sheet of information when you go to apply for a loan. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's called Get Your Ducks in a Row. Do it logically and legally, and you will be just fine. That is your best course of action in order to have everything the way you want it. And you can do it. And you can pay the loan back. It will all work out to your satisfaction. But you've got to find out You already know exactly what needs to be done. You've got to find out the people who do these things and what it would cost to do it and the time frame involved. And then you've got to get the loan to get it done with a payment plan that you can manage. What do you think?
Do you see me being able to successfully secure a loan even with not a lot of verifiable income?
Well, the loan, yes, would probably be backed up by the property itself, would it not? Called collateral.
Oh.
So the loan would be backed up by the collateral. Institutions, appears to us, like to give loans on solid property because it's tangible and it's something they can do something with. So maybe it would help you to have a dialogue, and without committing to anything, have a dialogue with somebody that knows about these banking practices and loan things. And if you have a relationship with a bank or somebody that you deal with on these matters, find out from them what their requirement is, let them know what you are being asked to do, find out from them what they need in order to help you do it, and then go about doing it. Jump in with 2 feet. Make it an art project. You are an artist, are you not?
Yes.
So make it an art project. You are putting together a construct of something that will be wondrous, delightful, and inspiring when you are completed. It is.
Oh, as soon as you brought in make it an art project, I felt myself light up inside and outside.
Well, there you go. Work to your instinct and allow yourself to pray for guidance. You have shunned universal guidance in the past as being unreliable. And we invite you to take another chance, to be sincere in your desire to have this work for the benefit of all concerned, not the least of which is you yourself. What do you think?
Cool.
Great. All right, we have 2 more questions.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Bless you,
No,
indeed.
thank you.
All right, Janet is up. She has a question.
Yeah, my name's Jeanette, and yes, I've been playing with my guides quite a bit about using my imagination for what I want to manifest and what I want to bring about, and I noticed that this one's guides does that as well, like the pink and golden light coming from your crown chakra into your cells, and and every time I do that and anything like that, I feel the tingling. So yeah, I guess I would like to just hear what else you would like to say about the power of that and how we can really begin to trust our imagination, because we were kind of taught, or at least I was, that, oh, well, that's not real. And yet
Exactly.
now I'm experiencing it as real. So yeah, please.
So you know already, without our having to say a word, that what occurs in your imagination, your connection to your spirit guides, the things that you feel the mystic around you are all much more real to you than the table that you are sitting at, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Therefore, it is to know that in spite of what anybody else says, what is real to you is real. And you don't have to justify it to anybody. You can allow yourself to be wholly guided by your intuition, which for you is incredibly accurate and has always in the last, well, certainly in the last 5 years, led you to successful completion of whatever you set out to do. You're having a little fight with yourself these days about having to do something that produces income. You think you are supposed to be producing more income.
Yeah.
Why would you think that when you don't need it?
Yeah, see, I really feel that I'm right on that edge of just fully trusting and
Indeed.
just,
And you're afraid that if you actually step off the cliff and
yeah.
give yourself free fall, that you will crash and burn, or that somebody else will shoot you down. That's more of a fear than what you think is going to happen within you. You think somebody else is going to shoot you down. So your job is to begin to focus on the truth that you are free to fly.
Yes. Thank
So
you.
that becomes your mantra. I am free to fly. Take me somewhere glorious.
Yes.
And it would be very helpful for you to start making little day trips in the car, road trips to any place. You need to get yourself out there a bit.
Yes, I have been holed up for the last couple of years, but yes.
So you don't have to go there where there are lots and lots and lots of people, and you can as well if you want to, but you don't have to. But you need to be out and about. You need to go where there are a few people here, a few people there, maybe just two of you enjoying the day together, but out. You need to get out more.
Okay.
And you need to chant to yourself, I am free to fly. So be it. You are all right. You have nothing to worry about. And when you feel yourself connecting to the fear of what other people will think or say or do to you, you have got to say to that fear, doesn't apply to me. Thank you for sharing. Go away.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.